Welcome to From Beyond with your host, Glenn Boddice. Join me as we explore spirituality, self-help, and channeling spirit. Hello and welcome to From Beyond with your host Glenn Boddice, spiritual medium. Thank you for tuning in once more for another action-packed show. As in this episode, we're going to be discussing the topic of energy shifts. Also in this week's episode, we have the channeling from the world of spirit, which sees me becoming a vessel for spirit to bring their communications and wisdom through. And then later on in today's show, we have this week's energy forecast reading, which will hopefully help you navigate your way through the course of this week ahead. So, without further ado, let's crack on with today's show. As I say, we're going to be talking about energy shifts. Now, what I mean by this is simply over the last few months now, I've observed a lot of changes in terms of energy, how people are interacting with energy, and how it's causing a change in our general atmosphere as well. So I'd just like to share some of my observations with you, and hopefully this, if you're not aware already, this will hopefully help you understand what's going on and maybe make you more observant with the things that are occurring around you. Now, one of the things I have noticed over these past few months is down to the shifts in vibration. Again, it's been happening very subtly, but I've noticed that it's almost I can be out and about, whether this is driving in the van or walking. But I'll give you the example where I've been driving in the van. Okay, so you can't exactly miss the van. I've had the headlamps on as well whilst I've been driving. These particular occasions I'm about to describe to you. And I've had pedestrians walk out directly in front of the van when there's headlights on. They can hear the engine. Well, at least I hope they can. And they're walking out as if it's not there. They don't even realize that I'm there. So to me, that's one of two things. They're either too consumed in their thoughts and what's going on in their life, and I'm not judging them for that because we've all been there. Or there's another explanation for that. To not see a van with headlights on coming directly towards you, they're in a different frequency band. They're in a different realm there, aren't they? Or maybe it's me that's in a different frequency band and they can't literally see me, the vehicle that I'm in as well, whilst driving it. So I've had this happen on numerous occasions these last few months. And this is not just with pedestrians either. This is with other drivers. So I would say that when I drive, I stick to the speed limits. I don't race around. I'm very, a moderate driver, and I read the road. That's the way that I drive. So I'm always looking out ahead and observant when I'm driving. Now, what I've encountered with other drivers, again, when I've had the headlights on, is that I'm coming up a main road and they literally pull out, I would say within 1 or 2 feet of me, as if I'm not actually there at all. And this has happened on more than one occasion, and I don't put it down to fluke. I mean, there are the odd driver that does like to get ahead, but, the level of close encounters that I've had with this experience, it's just been far too many just to say, oh, it's other drivers that aren't patient. It's not that at all. I feel as though there's been an energy shift, frequency shift. People are on different timelines, different vibrations. And I believe that they're not seeing the van there. Even with the lights on, they're not seeing it because it's in a different frequency to them, a different timeline, if you will. Albeit I'm in the same, to my knowledge, in the same timeline, but on an energetic level, they're not seeing it. They're not interacting with that energy. So I've observed that many times over these past few months, to the point where you have to have your intuition switched on when you're driving. You have to almost think for other drivers because of this situation. So anyway, so I've experienced that. But another thing that I have found interesting is, as you know, I like to go out on my travels and visit different locations, places I've never been before, and just experience it, as a what's the word I'm after? As a tourist, so to speak. I love to look round and look at the history and find out, the different locations. Anyway, the reason why I say this, I've been on various locations, and it's becoming more often than not that I start to feel like I'm a time traveler in that location. Now, I know this sounds absolutely bonkers and crazy, but when I go to these places, I always put that field of protection around myself. As a sensitive, as a medium, as I'm sure many of you that are listening will know, and you will do the same, you have to look after your vibration. And so with doing this, I do this every location I go to. And what I've been finding out is that when I'm there, it's as if, again, I appear to be invisible. People walk almost into you. When you're walking down the street, people aren't aware of you. When you're walking into buildings, people aren't aware of you. And it's quite weird. It doesn't just happen in one location. It seems to be happening in a lot of them. Now, there's two reasons for this, I believe. The first one is obviously I've got that protection around me. So it's not allowing anything or anyone that doesn't vibrate with a similar vibration to come anywhere near me in that respect there. And that's just the intentions that I've expressed in order to keep my energy buoyant and preserved, if that makes sense. And the other explanation is that there's different timelines, different energies, and energy shifts and frequencies that are occurring. And when something is not aligning, or something is on a different frequency band, imagine a radio station, and you're wanting to listen to one particular channel, you have to tune into that in order to receive that information, to hear it, to enjoy it, and to experience it. If you're slightly off of that frequency band, you're not going to hear it clearly, are you? You're not going to experience the information. So what I feel as though is occurring, using that analogy, is that certain energies have shifted onto different frequencies. So they're not, although there's all these, using the radio analogy again, there's all these frequencies playing out all at the same time, all in the same space. They're just, individuals are just dialed into a different frequency. And this is what I feel is what is happening at the moment. People are on different frequency bands and are unaware of all this activity and other people in that same time-space continuum. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention today, and just to bring it to your thoughts, really, and so that you're more observational about what's happening in and around your day-to-day life there, because it's very fascinating. I just found it. And I love the fact that when you go to these different places, I do feel like I'm observing life and culture in that environment. As like I say, it feels like I'm a time traveler whilst I'm there. It's such a bizarre feeling, but, I embrace it nevertheless. Anyway, like I say, energy shifts. So the veil is thinning. So with this being the case, you'll be more susceptible to receiving thought vibrations, emotional vibrations. So different people's thinking, ideas popping into your head, almost like telepathy, communications entering you, emotions, you feeling more hypersensitive with your emotions, and you may be absorbing other people's frustrations, angers, or energy of love. You may be picking that up. You'll be more susceptible to understanding that information as it's coming in as well. And also people's trauma as well. People's they get very irate, don't they? So you'll be picking up on that. Obviously, you've heard the term road rage as well. So just be aware when you are driving that you don't absorb somebody else's energy in that respect there as well. But spirit and supernatural encounters are more heightened, or seem to be happening at a more rapid pace over these last few months. Spirit are finding it a lot easier, in my experience, to come forward, to let us know of their presence. They're also moving things around as well, and leaving lots of signs there in our path, so that we're aware of them, so that we know that we're not on our own, that we're supported, but also to let us know that there is this alternate, shall we say, dimension that again is working in tandem with the one that we're currently focused on there as well. As you've heard me say many times before, I'm very blessed to be receiving messages from my dad, my late father. And he leaves lots of little notes around, lots of symbols around the home there when there's nobody in the home. And that would have been easier for him to do. Now these energy shifts have occurred there. But like I say, lots of supernatural encounters are occurring as well, such as visuals, audibles, people hearing their name called out, just when they wake up in the morning, when they're in that in-between stage. That's becoming more, shall we say, stronger in people's experiences there. So yeah, just watch out for all of these facets, as I completely feel that the energy shifts are ramping up to something incredible. Very positive, by the way. I just feel as though we're moving into a different timeline because of all of these experiences. But also, like I say, with these energy shifts, because people's vibrations are heightening or changing, or maybe staying the same, because not everybody wants to ascend. People are quite comfortable in their own vibration. They don't like change. And, me being a Capricorn, I would say I kind of fit in that category to a certain extent. But I have an understanding of spiritual dimensions and energy. So I trust the experience, whereas at one time, before my awakening, I would have been stubborn in that same mind frame. But now I'm more open to it. But what you will find is that these shifts will bring people's trauma to the surface. I'm talking about emotional upheaval that maybe you have experienced in your past, and you've kind of pushed down to ignore, to keep calm and carry on. And what I have observed is basically people are now coming to a point where they're having to go through that trauma. They're having to experience, they're having to reevaluate it in order to let it go, in order to lighten their energetic, shall we say, load, so that they can ascend and they can move with these energy shifts. There has been, what I've observed is a lot of confusion with people's attitudes and emotions. 1 minute they're very up, the next minute they're very down. And there's this seesaw of emotions that are occurring. And this is because this inner work is very important to do at this moment in time, because of letting go of this emotional, energetic baggage that's keeping us stuck and stagnant in old versions of ourselves, in old energies that are no longer serving us anymore, in order for us to be more present in our life and also to ascend and grow, like I say, and move with these shifts that are occurring around us all at this moment in time. Also, as well, in order to let these energies go, like I say, you have to go through the situation mentally and emotionally. and just let it go, and have that non-judgment approach. And that way you'll notice that there will be no more resistance on your timeline. You will be going with the flow a lot more, and things will start to be happening for the better in your life. But with me saying this as well, this is something that I've encountered this year already. And I know that a few other people have gone through this experience. And it all started a few months ago with me, where I was encouraged by my guides to just lie down on the top of my bed, not to go to sleep, just to rest, to recalibrate my breathing, slowing it down. And I closed my eyes there to get into a calm, gentle meditation state. And I did this all in silence and with my guide's instructions telling me all that what I needed to do. And so basically, I went into what my guides have described as a living life review. So what happened with me is my guides transported me on my timeline within my life back to key points within my life that were pivotal points that changed the way I am and had an impact on who I am today, for both positive and negative reasons. Now, they took me back to these various key points on my timelines, and it was the most surreal experience, but beautiful experience at the same time, because as I was revisiting these parts of my timeline within my life, I was not only seeing the visual experience, but I was seeing it from a third party point of view, not through my own eyes, if that makes sense. And then I was also feeling my emotions in that experience, some not so good, some good. And then I was also feeling other people's emotions and also hearing their thoughts of what was happening in that situation whilst I was in it there. So for me, it was very revealing, a little bit overwhelming, as you can imagine, experiencing all of these things all at the same time. But throughout the process, my guides were instructing me what to do and to relax, just witness, just observe, take it all in. And then once I took it all in, I could then make, shall we say, an opinion of that situation from my now moment consciousness. I could then start to see the value in that situation in my life. And in seeing that value, and now from my present moment consciousness, being grateful for that experience, for the gifts that it has bestowed upon me on my timeline to make me who I am in my present moment consciousness, and reframing these experiences. My guides told me that what I did there is I healed that part of me. And in doing so, I've heightened my vibration in my now moment consciousness, which has allowed me to connect on a higher vibration on my present moment and future moment timelines. Now, I did this on several different key points within my life on my timeline. Again, visiting the visual element of it, feeling the emotions of myself and the parties involved, and also the energies in the atmosphere as well, all at the same time. Everything was happening all at the same time. And then reevaluating it all, not judging it, reevaluating it and reframing it. And of course, this was, as you can assume, it was a very emotional encounter. So, I felt very, I would say, teary-eyed. I felt very vulnerable going through this experience, but my guides were guiding me throughout all of this living life review. And it was to clear the energy blocks. It was to heal those versions of myself, because, as they say, there is no such thing as time. Everything is happening now, all at the same time, all in the now moment. And so with them placing me in this experience, I healed those versions of myself that are continuing as we speak right now. so that the vibrations were more of a heightened case, if that makes sense to you. I still struggle to find the words to describe the experience to you because it was so profound, very emotional, very healing. I came out of the situation. In other words, I opened my eyes. It probably lasted, I would say, 40 minutes in length, this encounter. But I felt very, I would say, emotionally drained. I felt different in myself. I felt, I would say, an element of jubilation, excitement, clarity. I just felt a little bit sharper as an individual, having gone through this experience. Again, all guided from my spirit team there. But it's something that has occurred because of these energy shifts and these changes. And so that's what I've experienced. And it'd be interesting to find out if anybody else that's listening in has encountered something of a similar nature recently. Like I say, this was, I would say, a good couple of months, probably about 3 or 4 months ago when this occurred with myself there. The first time I've ever done anything like this, so it was very unusual to go through that. But also, at the moment as well, I'm finding on a personal level that being okay with how things are, in other words, being okay with not knowing too much. Now, I know that sounds a little bit crazy coming from a medium, a psychic, spiritualist, being okay with not knowing too much. And because, as humans, we like to know, we like to plan, don't we? We like to know where we're going to be, what we're going to do, the funds and all of that. I've experienced, like I say recently, of being okay with not knowing and trusting and just feeling your way through life, feeling that energy, if it feels right, if it feels wrong. What I've began to experience, and I'm sure a lot of you that are listening are going through, is that you feel an energetic pull. You feel yourself gravitating in certain areas within your life, certain people you gravitate towards, or in actual fact, people will gravitate towards you as well. It works both ways. Also, situations, opportunities coming your way. And this is, from my understanding, what my spirit team have told me, because you're okay with it. You're trusting your timeline. You're trusting the universe. And by stepping out of the way, you're removing those blocks away from your timeline, making it easier for these things to gravitate towards you on your timeline there. So I've been experiencing that quite a lot this year, where it's okay to step back, it's okay to observe, and it's okay just to trust and go with the flow there as well. But like I say, with energy shifts, there's a lot of old energy that's coming to the surface, untruths, therefore the truth will prevail. And also people's emotions. We're living in what I would describe at the moment, an energetic soup, all of this busy energy flying around. So I've noticed that I've had to up my protection, energetic protection. And I've described the way that I do this many times on the show before, so I won't go into that now. But let's just say I have to be very conscious of it. And I have to be very conscious of any shifts that occur in my vibration when I do come back into my home or workplace, of any energetic shifts. Even though I've put that protection up, you have to still have your wits about you because of all of this energetic soup that is occurring all at the same time. And people deal with this in different ways, but this is the way that I've been managing this because of this increased amount of energy that's happening. Also, trusting the vibrations. Like I was saying earlier, being okay with not knowing too much, just being okay with it, and trusting the vibrations of the universe. As also trusting people's vibrations, the places that you go to, also the situations, trusting a situation if it feels right to you, whether you need to go into that situation, whether you need to walk away from it, trusting the vibrations within all of these things. And I've also noticed that doing the inner work is paramount in order for you to flourish and grow in these energetic changes that we're all going through at this moment in time. Showing that level of gratitude for the situations that you've encountered, that you are currently experiencing, will amplify and heighten your vibration, enabling you to flow with non-resistance in these energetic shifts. And then finally, celebrating the successes, the challenges that you've faced and accomplished, the inner growth that you've done. By doing that, you're not only applauding yourself, but you're heightening your vibration. You're reprogramming your subconscious mind as well. And you're giving yourself that confidence in order to flow with the universe. So I do hope that this conversation has maybe opened your eyes to what's actually occurring at this moment in time and what has been occurring throughout the course of this year. It seems to be ramping up. So with this in mind, just be more observant, pay attention, do the inner work, and show that level of gratitude. And finally, celebrate your successes, and you'll notice massive shifts and changes in your own life. Well, now we're moving on to the next segment of the show, which is this week's channeling, which sees me becoming a vessel in order for Spirit to bring their wisdom and communications through. Now, what I have been noticing personally is that Spirit have been drawing a lot closer, in particular when I'm not preparing for channelings and things of this nature like I do and I prepare for this show. I'm finding that when I am visited by a few of my friends and Spirit want to bring forward some information and knowledge about their lives and some guidance for them, that I'm finding that my guides step in and they ask me, they'll say, actually, we've got some information for these people that are here. Are you willing to channel that information through? And of course, being a vessel of light, I agree. And I say, yes, of course, as long as you keep that protection up around me. So I'm finding this very interesting that Spirit are taking these opportunities to come forward and help as many people as possible in times where myself, I'm not even anticipating it. Neither are the people that are visiting me at the time. And it's even happened when I'm in the studio as well, working on other projects, and Spirit want to bring forward a message to those individuals. So I'm finding it very interesting at this moment in time, being this vessel for Spirit to bring their teachings, their wisdoms, healings, and messages for people. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this channeling from the world of Spirit.
Hello, it is our responsibility to talk to you about the illusionary concept of time. Time is, shall we say, it's always occurring. Everything is happening in the now moment. And if you can imagine that there's many frequencies beyond your contemplation, beyond your comprehension, happening all at the same time in the same space, just on different frequency bands. Or if you would like to see it as tracks on a record or on an album, a musical composition, they're all part of that composition, but they're all on different tracks within that composition. And if you see it in that way, you will understand what we're trying to portray to you today. the fact that everything is happening now. So even though you perceive that there's been past moments in your life going back to when you was a young child, we say to you that that portion of yourself is actually happening now. We understand that this will be a little bit of a mind bender for you all to listen to, but it's where the focused intention is placed. That is the experience of who and what you are focusing your time and energy on. That is what you're going to encounter. So many of you may understand that when you focus your intended thought on a situation, perhaps when you were younger, and you focus upon that in your now state vibration intently, you have that experience as real as can be, as tangible as can be, if you focus in hard enough onto that frequency within your now moment consciousness. It will become very real to you. And you can do this with any perception on your timeline, on your path, on your life. It's all happening now. You are the selector. You select what you're wanting to experience. We understand that this is quite an unusual concept to try and grasp, but we assure you that wherever you placed your intentional moments, and this is including your thoughts, your desires, what you want, what you feel, and when you focus in on that, that is going to be your experience, because it is all happening now. It's not elsewhere, it's already here. You have to tune into it vibrationally to experience it. And so we understand that this, for many listening, will be quite an unusual concept, one difficult to wrap the brains around. And we understand that entirely, simply because the way in which your incarnation on Earth has been, shall we say, formatted, is that there are several belief systems. There is a prescribed narrative, an agreement that has occurred with the majority of the Earth's citizens around the concept of time. And so when there's agreements on that level, there is a belief system that is instilled very deeply in the subconscious and the energetic and the emotional body. And so to think outside of that concept, that reality as you have been brought up to believe, is quite a revolutionary act, and one that feels quite alien to you all. But we assure you that time is nothing to fear. Nothing to fear by time. Because there is no time, as we keep mentioning. It's all where your perception is focused upon. So hopefully this gives you some insight in being more conscious about where you're placing your time, or your focus, your energy, your attention on. That will become your dominant frequency, your dominant reality. So, for example, if you are focusing in on a situation that has happened on your timeline that doesn't bring you any joy, you've lived that portion of your life, but it doesn't bring you any joy, and you're focused in on that, mentally, emotionally, physically, then your experience in the present moment will mirror that of that experience. So if it brought you pain, suffering, negativity, then that will be your experience in your present moment as you continue to focus in on those frequencies. It's a very unusual concept, as we keep mentioning, but the sooner you realize that you are in charge. You have the power, you have everything that you need at your fingertips whenever you need it. It's just a case of realigning your focus and forgetting all of the subconscious belief patterns and educational systems that have been doctrinized into you on your earthbound incarnation. Once you remove all of that and have space in your consciousness to appreciate everything in the now, then everything will change beyond your imagination. So, for example, if there has been lack in your life, or your experienced focus of lack, then the shifting of the gears will take you out of that vibration and move you into a frequency of abundance, an acceptance of abundance. And accepting of abundance will bring in riches, experiences untold that you would never imagine, simply because you have shifted your frequency and your attention on to that. So we hope this information has found you well and has maybe given you something to consider the next time you find yourself dwelling upon situations or circumstances within your timeline a little bit too long, and it's making you feel very, very, shall we say, bogged down in that energy. You're simply one thought away, a focused intention away from changing your reality. And you, yes, you have the power to do that. Nobody else. So own it. Take responsibility for you as a divine being of light. And you'll be absolutely astounded by the new experiences that you encounter when you flip frequency and focus in on the purest of intentions. We thank you for listening. We're now going to pass you over to another communicator who wishes to indulge in some more information for you. Thank you for now.
Yeah, that were great, wasn't it? Yeah, that were interesting, and well, it certainly got me hooked. I was scratching my brains, even though I know most of this. You know, when you make your transition, you get to know truths that you didn't necessarily understand when you was on the earth plane, but nevertheless, you get to appreciate things a lot differently. So anyway, I've come forward today to talk to you about love and self-love, because there's a lot of individuals out there that aren't showing themselves that level of love and compassion that they give so openly and freely to others. What we're talking about whilst we're saying this, we're talking about that deep respect for oneself and that celebration of the light that you hold in your heart, but honoring it and knowing that you are worth it. You are as deserving as everybody else. You are all equal opportunists. You all have the divine right to do what your heart says and what you focus your imagination and attention on, as the previous communicator has alluded to. You all have that responsibility. You all have that divine spark of love and light within you. And some of you, not all of you, but some of you are quite afraid of embracing that love for whatever reason. Maybe you've been hurt before emotionally. Maybe you bear the scars still emotionally. And so there's that reluctance, shall we say, to let go of that chokehold around your emotions, around your heart. And we say to you that when you release that urge to control and protect your vibrations at this level and trust, your life's going to open up beyond your wildest dreams and imagination.
Now, it's all right saying it, but putting it into practice is a different thing, isn't it, entirely? And we say to you, it's a simple procedure. This simple procedure involves you letting go of any emotions that cause you distress, forgiving those people or situations that led to that occurring in your heart, and most of all, forgiving yourself for putting yourself through this level of torment. That's the most important thing. But also knowing and owning that you are worthy, you are worth it, you are deserving. We would recommend affirmational work will be very beneficial to you, to enable you to focus in on these new frequencies and to reprogram the subconscious mind, letting you know that you are worthy, you are worth it, you are deserving. We would recommend using the term I am, and then placing those sentiments after it, such as I am worthy, I am love, I am deserving, I am worth it. And with repetitive focus on those statements we've just said to you, you will notice a shift in your vibration, one of acceptance, one of understanding, and you'll take and remove that guard down from your heart, those emotions that have been keeping you trapped, that have been keeping you small for such a long period of time. You can do it. You have the keys to your own success in all directions of time. As we've stated earlier, the previous communicator did, that there is no such thing as time. It's all illusionary. It's all happening now. So you have that power in your now moment to invest in yourself and take that ownership back. You are love. You are light. You are deserving. You see this change in frequency already with listening to these statements being offered and suggested to you in this transmission. We know that with continued focus and a belief, an unshakable, unmistakable belief in the divine spark, which is you, within your essence, within your soul, then you'll notice these vast changes coming in. There will be opportunities coming your way. There will be people coming your way. There will be a level of attraction like you've never experienced before. All because you're taking that divine spark and you're owning it, and you're not cloaking it or clouding that beautiful energy any longer. You're emitting that pure vibration of light, and you're not concerned about who sees it, who judges it, who experiences it. All you're concerned about is that you are that light, and you are worthy. And you see, by holding that strong vibration, everything else gets taken care of for you, as it has to, because you're emitting that frequency. So those of you that are listening and are in a period of your life where you're feeling low, you're feeling like you're treading water, or things aren't being able to be achieved for whatever reason, we'd like to roll it all back to its core essence and get you asking these questions to yourself, doing the inner journey and owning your light. As we've stated, I am love, I am light, I am worthy, I am deserving. Words of that nature will change your perspective and allow you to align with the beauty of who you are as an individual, light body. We thank you for listening, and we hope this information finds you well. Now I'd like to pass you over to another communicator. Thank you for now.
It's very much like a classroom today, isn't it, with the amount of lessons and teachings that you've all embraced. We all thank you for taking part in this communication by giving it your focused time and attention, and we understand that that word of time has a whole new definitional meaning for you. But we use it in a way that you see relevant to your situation. But anyway, thank you for listening, thank you for embracing the lessons, and we look forward to bringing forward lots of more inspired thoughts and wisdoms to you in the up and coming months. We have some beautiful energies and lessons coming through. Some of these lessons will go above your head and above your capacity to intellectually understand what we're saying. But what we say to you is that the intentional frequencies and vibrations are interwoven in those lessons. So even if your intellectual mind cannot grasp the concepts that we are suggesting to you, then the frequency will permeate within your vibration, allowing you to align with the information so that you absorb it on some level and that it percolates within one's mind. So there's an alignment to the truth vibrations within the information that we will be sharing. We thank you for listening, and we leave you with our unconditional love and blessings. And we want you all to know that you are never alone. We are always around you, always by your side, to guide, inspire, and influence you to be the best version of yourself, should you choose to focus on that frequency. Goodbye for now.
Well, again, another fantastic transmission from the world of spirit. Wonderful to hear about time is an illusion, and that it's all happening now there as well. Also, the level of self-love and respect that we need to show for ourselves. And interesting to hear that there's new lessons going to be coming in from the world of spirit on these very channelings for us all. So sit back now, relax, and listen to this week's forecast reading. Hello, my name is Glenn Boddice and I'm a spiritual medium, and welcome to this week's energy forecast reading for the week commencing Monday, the 4th of December, 2023. Now, those of you that have watched me work before will know that I connect with my spirit guides and helpers and also consult the wisdom of the angel tarot cards. So what I'm about to do is just shuffle the pack and allow a card to come out at random for this week's energy forecast reading. Okay, so this is your card for this week's forecast reading. I'm now going to link into the vibration and energy of this card. First of all, I'm being told that this week there's going to be a rise in your popularity. And what I feel as though this encounters is you receiving invitations for social gatherings and also interactions, maybe group conversations online. There's certainly an energy shift in your vibration that is attracting new people, like-minded people towards you more so this week than ever now. I also feel as though that this week will see you moving beyond barriers with your communication skills, being more of an open book, allowing people into your vista. And in doing so, you will feel more confident. You will also feel empowered by doing this. But I am also being told to tell you, just be careful, because people will take advantage of your kind heart and good nature if you don't set healthy boundaries in the beginning of these interactions. So just be careful with these new opportunities that are coming in for you. Also, I feel as though there's a lot of wisdom that's coming into you from your intuition this week, and you'll just get eureka moments and ideas that will just come literally out of thin air. But we all know where it's coming from, really. It's coming from the world of spirit there, from your higher self. So watch out for this as well. These ideas are there to help you and to help your life run a lot more smoothly so that you're more contemplative about your time and your energy, and so that your focus is shifting so that you can give the best of you to any one situation. So I just feel as though it's going to help you manage your time and also your energy this week there as well. There's also a connection with emotions and with your heart chakra this week. And I feel as though that this energy sees you, again, allowing yourself to be a little bit more comfortable in being vulnerable, allowing people to come in to get to know the true essence of who you are there as well. And also, you'll allow them to see that softer side of you, that loving, caring side of you that maybe is not exposed to everybody that you meet. So it's a beautiful interaction this week, a change in your vibration. I also I'm feeling some tears coming up to the surface there. So I do feel as though to get to some of these stages that we're talking about today, there will be a bit of an emotional breakthrough, which will actually see you letting old versions of yourself go, and you're going to be comfortable and okay with that. I do see around Wednesday of this week that this is where the peak of those emotions are going to start to come to the surface. So my guides are saying, when you do feel it, don't push it down, don't ignore it, just allow it to flow through you. They're also saying as well, if you feel that inclination to take some time out, have a rest to refocus, recalibrate even around Wednesday of this week, then please give yourself that opportunity to do that. So let's take a look into the card, shall we? So at the top of this card, it reads renewal. So basically, it's going in alignment with what we were saying, letting go of some of those old emotions. There's new opportunities coming in for you. You'll have that magnetic quality about you where you attract invitations, new people that vibrate with you into your life. Again, like my guides were saying, just pay attention to where you're giving your time and energy, and set your stall out. In other words, set healthy boundaries so that your generosity is not abused. When I say generosity, I'm also referring to your energy, your time, and your attention there as well. At the bottom of the card, it reads, reviewing the past with compassion and forgiveness. Time to head in a new direction. Clarity on your life purpose. In your heart, you know what to do. So that's beautiful. In many respects, it's going in alignment with what my guides were just saying about the way that this week is unfolding. So that's clarification for you also there. So let's take a look around the card. As you see, we've got two words there, J-E. To me, that represents journeying and also expect miracles. J-E. That's what my guides say it represents. So journeying, this is talking about you revisiting your past, making peace with your past, and in doing so, they're telling you to expect miracles in your life. So rather than pushing opportunities away, know that they're on the way, know that the best is here, you're safe, you're vibrating high, and just expect it. Have an expectation, and by doing that, you'll be witnessing new opportunities coming your way there with people, with opportunities to heighten your confidence, your romance there as well. That feels very strong this week. Romance and love and the heart chakra and that confidence building up. So just watch out for that. And I feel as though that applies to everybody that's watching this. So as we see at the bottom there, this side, we've got X and X in Roman numerals. To me, that represents the number of, my guides are saying 20. So can you research the angel number of number 20, as I feel that will resonate with you at a very strong point this week, the information within that. And also it looks like two kisses there. So I feel as though that's going in alignment with a connection with love, with your heart chakra, and a new connection being established this week. Watch out for receiving lots of those there as well. So looking around the card, we've got this beautiful color. It's like a brown color, and then it's moving into an orange, into a red. So brown's talking about grounding your energy. It's talking about getting outside more. Even if it's cold, like it is here in the UK, wrap up warm and just get yourself out. The fresh air will do you the world of good. Orange is talking about intuition, and it's talking about your vitamins and minerals, and also the energy that's going to propel you forward through some of these roadblocks that you've been placing in front of yourself for many years now. It's going to see you charging over them and making waves there. Now, the red to me is talking about grounding your energy, being more present. In other words, being aware of what's happening in your now moments, rather than being in your head a lot of the time, daydreaming and thinking about elements of your past. It's telling you to be more present, but also it's talking about to pause for self-reflection and give yourself permission to do this. Like we say, we feel that there's going to be some emotion around Wednesday of this week. So give yourself that time to recuperate and heal and reset yourself and your focus. Looking into the artwork, we've got this beautiful masculine and angelic being there that's hovering up, yet his wings are facing down. Masculine energy is talking about taking charge, also making plans, also moving forward there as well, and just taking responsibility. I feel that represents the fact that the wings are down. That's talking about taking time out and resting that part of you as well. Don't overcook it, don't overanalyze it. Simply go with the vibration of this masculine energy. He's wearing a blue-purple colored robe that indicates spirit, intuition, guidance from spirit, protection, and also it's talking about communications and also emotions this week there as well. We've got two flags on there. We've got a red flag there. To me, that's also telling you to just be aware of people taking liberties with your beautiful energy this week. And we've got a blue flag that's talking about communications and emotions. And we've also got this family scene there as well. That's talking about people being drawn towards you this week. So that's what I picked up for you for this week's energy forecast reading. I hope that aligns with you. Thank you for hearting, liking, commenting, and sharing. If you would like to make a donation to my Buy Me a Coffee link, there's a link above or below this video link to help me do the work that I do in order to help other people ascend and grow. If you're wanting a private reading, go over to my website, www.glenboddicespiritualmedium.com, or find me on Facebook, Glenn Boddice Spiritual Medium. In the meantime, join me every Monday, 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time on pulsetalkradio.com with my show From Beyond with Glenn Boddice Spiritual Medium. Take care. Have a wonderful week. Bye for now.
Well, it sounds like we're all set for an interesting, transformative week this week, doesn't it? That's if we're willing and open to accept these new changes coming in. So I'm very thankful and grateful for Spirit bringing that information about this week ahead. I hope it helps you and aligns with you on some level and helps you make sense of this week, as that is the purest intention behind doing these weekly energy forecast readings. And these readings I've been doing now for, I would say, just over 3 years, and every week for 3 years. And so I feel very honored that Spirit have chosen me to be that vessel to bring these communications and healings and helpful information through. So anyway, thank you once again for tuning in to this week's show. I hope you found it very interesting and helpful on some level. If you have any stories of a paranormal, self-help or spiritual nature that you would like to share with the show and that you're okay with me reading them out on the show, then you can contact me at www.glenboddicespiritualmedium.com or email me at glenboddice@live.co.uk. And again, it would be fantastic to hear from you as well and share your content with the listeners there. So whatever it is you're doing this week, have a fantastic week ahead. Look after yourself, set those healthy boundaries, and enjoy and be open to new opportunities and experiences. In the meantime, join me the same time, 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time on www.pulsetalkradio.com with this very show From Beyond with Glenn Boddice. Take care. Bye for now, and God bless. Thank you for listening to From Beyond. For more information about what products and services Glenn provides, go to Glenn Boddice Spiritual Medium